Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining Create with D. I am sorry that I'm late. I got off work just a little bit behind schedule. And then when I was setting everything up, my laptop, which is this camera here, it decided to do, and it's the main program, it decided to do an update. And so I had to wait till that all got done. So sorry that I'm running about 7 minutes late here, but I hope that those of you that planned on tuning in at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, that that you see that I'm live now and that you do come in. Well, I'm Dee Slater with Create with D. Welcome. Hi, Devette. And I'm excited about sharing with you all my tips that I have for using one of the new dies that's in the catalog that's called Patchwork Pieces. And I've got some tips and tricks on how to do it. This was a class that we did in person yesterday. And my tips and tricks seem to work really well. So I'm excited to share it with you. This is also this week's class. If it's something that you're interested in getting a kit to go with a minimum order online using my host code, which I'll have that link up here in just a little bit or on the description. And you can go ahead and make this at home if you'd like. Hi, Carolyn. All right, let me turn the camera around and we'll get started making, showing the tips on how to make these cards. All right, and let me get this turned around. Terry says she's thinking about getting the dies. I think you'll really like them. I'm really enjoying them and like my mind's swirling on all the things to do. All right, so these are a set of dies that you can purchase through Stampin' Up. They're in the annual catalog, so we've got plenty of time to get them and enjoy them with lots of inspiration. These dies are just as it's described, patchwork. And so kind of think about when you think about a patchwork quilt or jacket, there's bits and pieces that when put together make an interesting pattern. And each of these dies or each of these patterns, when they're die cut out, are stitched. Now, I will say, and we'll show an example here in a little bit, but when you die cut them out, there's no border to it. It's just all of the pieces. So let me show you what cards that we made and that you could make at home. We're just going to put the pieces together here during our time. I think it would be our time together would be too long, but I just definitely want to share with you the essence. But here's one of the cards. And this is used, I think it's Masterfully Artful or Artistic. It's one of the papers that are on sale this month. And that's using this one here. And then these two use the swirl ones. This card uses two different patterns. These happen to be the back-to-back. This is from the Delightfully Eclectic. And then here's one showing all 5 colors that are in the Gorgeous Gingham collection. And both of those are kind of the wavy ones. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll show you my tips of utilizing these dies. I put those off to the side for now. When thinking about how to teach this class, what I did is I actually made a copy of the dies and then turned this into a PDF. So if you follow the link on the description here on my blog, I have this PDF that you could download if you get the dies, and I think it will really help you. So how to do this is this is just one of the examples of a kit that you would get. You'd make 2 cards. And so let me go ahead and get all of these pieces out. And I'll kind of show you how this goes together. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Get my bits and pieces of what I don't need out of a road here. Oh, thanks, you guys. I'm glad that you like it, like the samples. All right, so the easiest way to do this is when you die cut it, you have all of these different shapes. And like I said, they don't have a border on it. So what we did is you could take this sample or the PDF, and you can line up your images. And for this class, what I'm doing is we are always going to start up in the corner, and we're going to put these together. And so And if you wanted to, you could sew, just have a card that just looks like all of the stitch shapes like that. But then what I think looks interesting is when you alternate the paper in it. And so I'm going to gently, so I have this one here and I can kind of scooch it over since I know I've got my pieces where they are. And then on the second set that you do, you can start to alternate them. So we're just going to kind of replace every other piece. So this is just happens to be the back side of this kind of tulipy paper. So if I put this one here, then I want to put, I call this the tornado one. It reminded me of a tornado. So then we put the tornado one and then we swap that out. Whoops. See, that's not the tornado. With the tornado. And then again, the template really helps. Okay, so then we got to do, and I called this like the lounge chair. So then the lounge chair goes in. And then we can replace this little side piece with the side piece. Oh my gosh. Get those back in the order. And then this. And, again, just back and forth. All right, so that's how you can, if you want to, you can download the template and kind of stage them and know where the pieces go visually that way. So next, what I thought would be a tip is if you just wanted to go ahead and start to mat these, maybe you wouldn't have, what do I say, like to know how to get your matting just the way you want. So what I found that I liked to do is I have a piece, and of course you're going to make 2 cards if you're going to do those because you've got a double set. I cut a piece of basic white at 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. And now we're going to just glue these together. So I'm going to kind of scooch that one off to the side just so that we can see. And what my tip is to start up in the upper right-hand corner. And when we glue these together, we're going to glue it so that it's, flush here and flush there. All right. So normally you hear me say like just a little dab will do you on the liquid glue. On this one, it's almost nice to get it juicy because I'm going to kind of show, because that way you can slide it. And sometimes if you don't have quite enough, you don't have the slide. Okay, so I've got it lined up on the edge and on the side. And then we'll take our next piece that we have on the template. And again, you could use your dies to match that up too. I just found that it was kind of a little easier for me to have the paper on it. So I'm going to match it up to the top. And then slide it so it's right next to each other and line up on the left-hand side. And you can kind of keep sliding it. I've got the white up here. Okay, that looks good. And we're going to keep marching on down the side. So just kind of do one at a time. And again, using this backing, if I have any quilters in the group, you kind of are sewing, you probably know about batting. It's like the backing that you put on fabric. So that's what I'm thinking about this too. So it's just giving me something so I can perfectly place our pieces here for the patchwork, Patchwork Pieces dies. I'm already thinking of everything else I want to do with this. These dies. I think like it'd be super cute for any holiday themed paper that you have, or themed paper. Oops, I'm going to get that one over here. Again, flush it to the left. And I'm okay right now with this having the white edge on it, because I'll show you how that we can trim that up. Sometimes with cutting 3/8 or an 1/8, it can get a little tricky on my trimmer. I'm going to just keep kind of putting this up. I'm holding it up so that you can see it. And it's easier if you kind of keep things flushed on one end. That way when we go to trim it up, any of the excess, we have it. And then the last one. Marge, I'm so happy that you liked class. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to be with you girls. All right. So now we have our patchwork piece all ready to go. And let's see, do I have my scissors here? Oh, I do. Okay. And so if you happen to have any of the white edging left on it, it's no big deal. You know, just come in with your snips and we're going to trim these up. All right. So now we have our patchwork all put together, and now we can, you know, design our cards from there. So we're not going to do step by step because I want to focus on the tips, but I matted this then on a piece of, this happens to be Night of Navy at 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Put a little band on the card base, layered that on. And then I'm all about two other things here from the catalog. One is the layering leaves. It's a stamp. Well, one, I love the sentiments, love that the leaves match the bow punch. And then also the nested dies, nested essential dies. Use that with class 2 for all of the sentiments, or the, you know, the embellishments on here. So, so that's how I finished this card here for class. So took this, layered it, just single layer on the card base, add our embellishments, and we're good to go. All right, so that's how you can do the one, like, you know, a back-to-back one. And then just real quickly, what I did with the gorgeous gingham. Oh, before we go from there, I wanted to show you then, like, so here's the two different cards side by side. So as you can see here, like your twofer would be, you know, you start with one pattern and then on the other card, you start with the other. So you get a twofer, another twofer card class. All right. So what I did here with the gorgeous gingham is that I've got these all layered, and the pattern is 6 pieces, but there's 5 of the gingham. And so when I started one color here, I ended it with the other, with the same color down below. That way I could get the, I'll call it rainbow, or all of the different colors, and do that. So yes, I did die cut 5 different times to get the pattern. And then you just kind of keep playing around with which one you start with. So again, the browns were started here. So the first and the last one was that. And then this one I wanted to kind of show, like, you can do whatever orientation that you want. Here I did vertical. On this version, I did horizontal. And you can have it, the swirl be down, you can have it be up, you know, so you can have a lot of fun with it. And then there's another one of those dies, and that hello, that's from that stamp set. All right, so that would be the second card. All right, so let me go ahead and get this doobers out of here. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other pattern here. And this one has 12 pieces in it. Same as before, we're going to use our template and match it up. And let me get that one. Where's that at? Okay, here we go. So this pattern is from the Masterfully Artful. I don't have that right. Okay, so what I did is when I die cut it, I die cut both of them at the same time. So this has both the front and the back. This is going to be a little different pattern than what this is. And patterns would vary if you get this class kit to go. It's all within the same color or the same designer paper, but the patterns that you'd get would be different. This one's a little easy if you keep it all together. So I die cut it, and then I very carefully kept it together because of the 12 pieces. So as you can see, it's here. If it would happen to get separated, you've got your template. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these out at a time and then put it back in. Take the next one, and this is the back side of this paper. and then we're going to alternate it just like we did before. Okay, so if you keep it together on this 12 one, it's so much easier to do it that way. At class, some of them were all scattered because if they didn't stay connected back to back, it makes it a little tricky. Okay, whoops, I gotta still take it apart. And we'll do this. So sorry, I should have had one of them ready to go, but this is kind of just how to do it. You know, the design is, whoops, see, I've got this here. Let me stop. This one goes here and this one goes here. And let's see, okay, this in here, I'm gonna kind of scooch it over. Oh, Carolyn, it is so good. It is so good. I mean, I just am thinking of, just because I got some Christmas in July designer paper coming my way, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you know, how fun for any of the holidays. Okay, I'm going to kind of just keep it here going. Give myself a little more room. And I'm okay if I spread this out because I've got my template that I can come back to. And then I kind of will show you again how I was thinking about putting this together. All right, they're all getting kind of wonky on me. Could almost, if you wanted to, print a second one out. And almost there. Again, I got some other tips here that we'll want to share with you, so hang on with me. And one more. Okay. So now let's go ahead and we'll put these together. I'm going to go ahead and push this one off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and get these back in my template. It makes it so easy to know, like before we start gluing down where the things are at. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this little doober off. And keep moving around. So much easier to have this template, or you could have your die out and just kind of after you die cut it, get things positioned just so that you can see what goes where. And then this one, I had the wrong one. Let's go this way. Oh. And keep going. Which one? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, it's this way. Okay. This is what, how are they all wrong? It's all right. We're getting it. Oh, is this one? Those are right. Oh, forevermore. Can you guys see it? Oh, there. Hello. See, I needed the template. Okay, I've got them all here ready to go. All right, so I'm going to kind of just show you some things here. On the corners, the corner pieces actually do have a little corner. So it's got the square top on it. The square top is always a corner. And then the middle two pieces, if you think of those two pieces come together, they form a pyramid, like a large pyramid on top and bottom, and then small pyramids on the sides. All right, let's glue this one down. And just like before, I'm going to start in the corner. And I'll do just a few of these. I won't make you watch me do all 12 because I do have one that's there. So here, again, the corners start up in the corner. And for this one, the points will not meet in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top first. So I kind of like to start at the, fill up the top and then keep going from there. So we'll do this. Again, a little bit of juicy glue will keep it moving for me. And then we'll put that down. There, that's got that little circle in there. I don't want that. And then we'll do the next one. Put this up here. Oops. And if they get away from you, that's what happens sometimes. And just kind of take a second and put it back. I'm holding on to it up in the air so that you guys can see it a little closer. You wouldn't have it up in the air like I'm doing, kind of goofy. And then we'll put this down. And the corner goes in the corner. Let's squish it to the top. Okay, so, and then you just kind of start in on the sides and then finish on the bottom. And when you're done, get that one. And when you're done, you get, you know, this is all covered like it was before. And then I matted it, and then it looks like this. So that little circle in the middle, if you had that there, you could keep it. But a lot of times when you die cut, that little circle pops out, and I don't know how you would ever find it if it got loose. It's so itty bitty. But just know that when you put these all together, it does have an opening in the middle. So I was at first trying to meet the points, but the points won't meet because it does have that little opening there. But then look how cute and pretty that is. And then, you know, again, it would just be matted like that. And then this is how we finished this card off. Again, whatever you have covers it in the center. We had it going this way because of the sending hugs, kind of wanting to go in this direction, but you know, you could have it this way and just go from there. Some other things that you could do with this is that just like any type of, like again, kind of think quilts if you've ever, like whether it's your, you know, your duvet cover or your comforter at home, even if it's not a handmade quilt, you'll notice that it has the pattern and then there's a stitching on top of it. What you could do is take this after you have it glued together, you could run it through an embossing folder of your choice and then really get that textured look. So if you know anybody that sews or that quilts, you know, I think that they would really appreciate this card. A button in the middle. Yes, a cute little button in the middle. I love that idea. So that's my tips and tricks on doing this. Just to kind of recap would be, you know, get the template or put the dies down after you die cut. And especially it's helpful for this one as you mix and match the patterns. It just kind of helps keep you organized a little bit of where you're at. I found a huge success with putting it on like a backing before I put this down. That way I didn't have to worry about gauging where to start on this. Could you imagine saying like, okay, let's do this. And here's the corner. Let's try to guess like the matting part of it. I mean, that would, to me, that just would be so intimidating. And that's why I came up with this idea of putting it on here first and then being able to mat it. All right, let me turn the camera back around and look a little bit. Carolyn, yes, please message me and I will be happy to mail you a catalog. All right, everybody. Well, again, I do apologize for starting a little late due to some technical difficulties, but I hope that you can see some of the potential that that you could have doing our patchwork pieces dies. I'll go through this and I will see if there's any other comments that I can answer. And as always, if you liked anything in this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up, a heart. If you know somebody that might like this video, I welcome you to share it. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me with however you're watching this. All right, everybody, have a great week and happy crafting. Bye-bye.